Okay. In order to use a state tree component, first we must go to the plugins, search for state tree, and activate these two, state tree and gameplay state tree, and then restart your editor. So I've already done that. Now what we'll start, in order to create this enemy AI, let us create some folders first. One for the enemy, and one for AI. In the enemy, we'll create an enemy character. Give him a mesh, position him, and save. And in the AI, you will need an AI controller. So it's our AI controller enemy. In order for him to move on the world, he will need a nav mesh. So let's add that now. Okay. And let's go back and add the enemy AI controller to the enemy. Let's see if it works. So there, find the AI controller class, add our AIC enemy. Let's test it, see if that's working correctly. Let's open the AIC enemy in the event graph, the onPossess function. So we know that it's been possessed at this point. We will then say AI move to, and we'll just tell him to chase the player character. The pawn will be the get controlled pawn. So what happens? Let's add our enemy. And let's play. Nothing. Put in a delay here. Okay, so he probably did work there. Move him across. Right. And there he's running towards us, but no animations. Why is that? So if we go to the enemy again, our BP enemy, the reason is very simple. If you go to the animation blueprint, which he doesn't even have, so let's give him one, and play. Same issue though. And that's because if we open this, it uses get current acceleration. There's two options. Some people just delete this, but the correct way of doing it is go to the enemy, search for acceleration, and say use acceleration for paths. Now he should have animation. Excellent. So we know that's working. So the next step is to create an state tree. What we should do first of all is disable this. We don't need it anymore. We know it works. Now we can create our AI folder. We'll create a new folder, so state trees, and we'll create our first state tree. So in artificial intelligence, choose state tree. There's two options, a state tree component, which you can add to an actor, or a state tree AI component, which you can add to the AI controller. And as it says, it guarantees access to an AI controller. We'll go for this one. So this is our state tree enemy main. Because we will create further state trees, which are children of this state tree. So double click and open, and now we end up with this setup. Now the way this works is, so on the left you have the component. It has a context and a controller. If you open the schema, you can change which controller class this is being used on. We'll go for AIC enemy today, and the context actor, well, that will be our VP enemy. So compile and save that. Now this is where you add the states. So we're going to have 3 states. First state will be idle. Second state will be patrol. Now a third state will be chase. Now in each one of these states, you can add a task for it to run. And the way it works is it will begin at the root, and then it will try to activate each state in turn until it finds one. It should activate the idle state straight away. So we need to create a task. Now there are some generic tasks, but we'll need to create our own tasks. So let's begin by creating a task. Go back to AI. Let's create a folder for tasks. And let's create our first task. So blueprint class, and we want a state tree task blueprint base. This is the one that we want. What we will do is we'll create a base task. Base task. And then we will create children of this task to run on each of our different states. And this, I'll show you why this is useful. So that's our base task. Then we can say create child blueprint. And this will be our state tree task idle. Let's open that. So the way that state tree task works is that when you enter the state, it calls enter state. When you exit the state, it calls exit state. And a task can either be completed with a success or failure. this is where it will enter the state. Now this is an idle state, so we don't really want it to do anything but remain in the idle position. So interestingly, we need to do nothing here except this. We go to our enemy here on the idle. What we'll do is two things. One, we'll add a debug task so we know what state we are in. And we can just write idle. And then we can add another task, which is our actual idle state. State tree task idle. Now this is a task that does nothing, and it doesn't finish or complete. So once it enters this task, it will remain in here as long as we tell it to do so. So once state completed, we'll simply tell it to remain in idle. So let's begin by adding this to our AI controller. So in the AI controller, we can go to add and add a state tree AI component. And that state tree AI component, we will give it the state tree enemy main. Compile that and save it. Now, even though it says start logic automatically, this doesn't seem to happen, so you do have to start it yourself. So in the event possess, we'll take the state tree and we'll set it to reset to restart logic. This should start our state tree task off. So now let's see what happens. Play. Give it a little delay. If we go to the state tree idle here and just print enter idle. So we've got the enter idle, so we know he's in the idle state. So that's one state. Now we want him to go from idle to patrol state. So let's create the patrol state first. Again, we'll make a child of this. One thing we should do with the enter state is we should call the parent function, because we are likely to override that at some point in the future. Before we move on, let's fix the debug task in the state tree. So here we've got a debug task. In order for it to show where we want it to, in this reference actor, let's pick the AI controller, save. And now when we run this, we should get idle, shown that it's in the idle task.